Welcome back to my Cub Cadet Model 123 rebuild. Today we're going to remove the head, remove the hood, remove the battery, and rebuild the car. So to start off with, I got to remove this spark plug here. I had to get it on my deep well sockets. Just give it a little pop. Comes right off. Unscrew the rest by hand. Just because it's quicker. I mean, you could undo it off with a ratchet if you really wanted to. It's a Champion. You can't really see the model number. I think it's like a H10C or something like that. Whatever. Anyways, I got to take these bolts off here to get the head off. Those are just, I believe they're 9/16. Let's take a look. Yep, 9/16. To get these off real quick. What I'll find out a little later is I got to also take some nuts off those other longer bolts. So get that on there, take those off. Now these longer bolts have nuts on them, and so I had to get my deep well socket out in order to. It was also 9/16. Just get that out, as you can see there, 9/16. Yeah, you can't really see because I'm about to drop it, but whatever. 9/16. All right. We'll take those nuts off, and then once those are removed, the head just comes right off. Here it is me for the very first time taking a look under the head, and you can see that's a penetrating fluid sprayed in there. It's just WD-40, so everything looks kind of wet, and looks like it already ate through some of the carbon that was on there. You see, it's actually not in horrible shape. I was expecting it just to be totally black, but it's definitely got some carbon built up in there. The valves are black. The piston and the cylinder look like really good shape, I think. This is the head. Now it's hard to tell from the video because the quality's kind of low. I'll show you a picture in a second, but there's some real weird scoring right here where the piston would go. It shouldn't hit right there, but something's going on there. Look at this picture. See where it's scored? I'm just wondering, what is that? What caused that? And is that bad? Can I sand it out? What can I do to fix that? Here's the piston. You see it's got just a little bit of play, but I think that's normal, especially at the top. I believe when you bring it down, it wouldn't do that. Here is the hood I'm going to remove. Just got to take that bolt off, take that bolt off, and then the hood will just pop right off there. Had to use, looks like it's a 9/16. Just put it on there, and then I held the other side with some channel locks. Alright, there's the battery. Just gotta take that terminal off, then take the hot one off, and the battery just come right off there. I don't have that plate that holds the battery in place. Okay, now here's the important stuff. Now is where I'm going to get into removing the breather, or I guess really the air cleaner, and then the carburetor. There's a bolt right there I got to take off, and there's another bolt on the other side, same size. You got to take that off, and then that carburetor will almost come right off, except I'll show you in a minute. Well, this is the breather. It's just got 3 little screws in there. Just take those off the flat screwdriver. That's the screw right there that holds it on. Alright, I gotta take that bolt off. I showed you this earlier, and there's the bowl right there. It's not really in the way. I gotta take that linkage off with the for the choke. And there, to take that bolt off there. And if you look up here on top, this is the throttle. It's just got this little spring clip, I guess it's called, that's holding it on. I just got up here and needle nose grabbed it and pulled it right off, and then when I pulled that out, I just put the spring clip back on there so I wouldn't lose it. I mean, I probably will still lose it, but we'll see. It's good intentions, remember. You can see it just kind of moves around freely. It's really just clipped on there. It keeps falling off. Alright, got the carburetor off. Right there, you can see the choke is wide open. You can't see it, but it's a number 26. I had the kit for it. I got it at Napa for $8.23. It was a Kohler kit. That's the part right there that hooks into the engine. You can see here, this is the throttle. You see, basically what you're kind of controlling, when you move the throttle, is how much air is getting in there. You're not controlling really exactly how much gas is getting there per se. You're really controlling the amount of air going in. Here is that's the choke right there. You can see it when it's on. That's wide open, so there's no choke. That's full choke. No choke, full choke. And think of it literally, you're choking it of air, making it suck a bunch of gas in there. That's what choking means. Alright, enough of that. Come on, move on. Gee, how many times am I going to show you that? It's ridiculous. Alright, anyways, I got to take that little screw off right there, and the bowl will come off. There's gas in there. I dumped it out before I started filming this, but there's gas in that bowl. And you always had to dump it out into a tank or something. That's the high-speed screw right there. There's the idle, or something that's called high and low. They're usually marked H and L. Just count how many times you screw those in. That's how many times you know to screw them back out. The long one there is the high speed. It's got a bunch of tiny little holes in it, so you got to make sure those are real clear. After you clean it off, I used some air to spray it out. That came off the top there. And then that's the idle, or the low-speed screw. And it came off the side right there. Okay. You gotta make sure those are real nice and clean. So I'll put those in the carburetor dip. I'm gonna take this gas line off. There's no reason I'm to reuse it really, because I bought some for my snapper. It's the same stuff, it's just a 1/4 inch fuel and hose. I think I got like 2 foot for like 80 cents or something at Ace Hardware. So I'm gonna use that. I need to take that thing off right there. That's where the gas line hooks up to put gas into the bowl, which then allows it to go into the carburetor. Just a little 1/2 inch wrench will just take it right off. Alright, so notice these are exactly wrong. The screw on top is actually the high speed, not the idle, and the screw on the bottom is the low speed. But I wrote down how many turns it took. Also, I took that thing off and kind of dirty in there, so I'd use my needle nose to pull out some. They'd probably put some gunk in there to hold the threads good. Look, there's a little bit of gas left in my bowl. I went and dumped that into my my gas can. There's the float right there. See how I kind of moves freely. Basically, when it's open like that, it's allowing fuel in, and then the fuel makes it float up and shuts off the flow of fuel. That little thing right there came out of that hole I was just showing you. It's got a little gasket on there. It's got to be replaced. Just a little flat screwdriver pulled that off. The one I had to put back on, though, had to use a wrench to do it. It didn't have the slots for a flat screwdriver like that one to go in there. Real pain. Alright, gotta replace that gasket. Don't forget that. It comes in the kit. There's also a couple more little gaskets that I'll show you in a minute what they do. That black gasket right there, that also comes in the kit to be replaced. If you pull it off, there's a little rubber gasket that kind of fits down on the slot that also comes in the kit you replace. Alright, took all that junk off, all the gaskets and stuff. This stuff will just eat that up. Put it all in this little pan, drop it down in there, put the cover on there because it stinks, it smells awful, and I don't want a kid to come along and take a drink of it or something stupid. Put the lid on there, let it soak for, can says anywhere between 15 and 30 minutes. I let it soak for 20 minutes. Come back, had to pop the lid off with a screwdriver because I pushed it down a little too hard. When I pull it out, you can instantly see that it's just a lot cleaner already. The only reason I put the bowl in there was just to clean it off. You don't think you have to put that in there because it never burns anything in the bowl. It just holds gas. You can see all the grime and stuff was coming loose. And I went outside and I sprayed it with a water hose, just like the can says to do. Sprayed those with a water hose. Sprayed that out with a water hose. And it just looks pristine. Now, to get all the extra water and stuff out of it, you got to use something to spray it. I got some of this gum out, Carb choke cleaner, but I don't. Why use that when I just got these little air cans that I use, on my computer keyboards, stuff like that. Got me an extra can there. It's like $5 at Walmart. Good stuff. I use it just to spray everything. Get all the water out. So here it is. Everything's all sprayed, cleaned out. There's my float, and a little rod that goes through it, that goes through those little holes in the top, and that gasket will go right there. Just kind of lay down over it. Doesn't stick in there. And that little screw will go in the bowl, and those right there are what allow the gas to fall into the bowl. And that is right there. You can see that hole right there. It screws into there, and then the other thing just drops in there. It's free. It's free in there, and the bowl is what, or the float is what closes that and opens that to allow gas to get into the bowl. Looks pretty clean though. I mean, I was really impressed. Alright, so I put that brass fitting in there, which is what allows the gas to come through. And this little gasket just lays down. It literally just lays down right on there. And then you put that little tiny metal thing that I've shown some videos. It just drops down the little hole where that brass fitting is. This, of course, was after I put the little rubber gasket in there under this gasket. That right there holds the bowl in. Alright, so I put the high-speed screw back in there, and I put the low-speed or the idle screw back in there. And I screwed them all the way down because the clean carburetor, I have to adjust them on my own. You can really see everything good on this. Well, that's about it. Next time, we're going to take some more stuff off the tractor and hopefully take the engine out.